Okay, guys, so we are doing the last section of chapter 6, and what we're talking about today is another quadrilateral. And it's important that you notice I said quadrilateral, not parallelogram, because we're now switching directions, and rather than talking about special parallelograms, we're talking about different types of quadrilaterals, all right? So the first one I think you guys have probably heard of before, all right, it's a trapezoid. And what the definition of a trapezoid is it's a quadrilateral, all right, with exactly one set of parallel sides. And I'm going to input another word in there, one set of opposite parallel sides. Okay, and that should obviously make sense, all right. But to draw a picture, okay, we're going to draw a trapezoid. So to do that, we're going to start with two sides that are parallel, all right, but that are not congruent. And then we're going to connect the other two sides, and then we're going to mark, all right, these two sides to be parallel, okay? Now, just to kind of talk about some vocab here, all right, we're going to talk about what we call these sides. So the two sides that are parallel right here are called the bases. So the opposite sides that are parallel are called the bases. And then the two that are non-parallel are called the legs. All right, so these two sides right here are our legs. Okay. Now, an isosceles trapezoid, I think from the word isosceles, we could probably guess what's going on here. But what an isosceles trapezoid is it's a trapezoid with congruent legs. All right, so it's going to be a very similar picture to what we just drew, only this time I'm going to start with my bases, connect my other two sides. Let's mark our bases to be parallel. But then these two sides right here, the legs, all right, have to be congruent. All right, so these two sides right here have to be congruent. Okay, so what I want us to do is I actually want us to skip the next example, all right, and come down to example 2. And it says label the parallel and congruent sides of an isosceles trapezoid. All right, so what I want to do is I want to talk about what sides are our bases and what sides are our legs. So EF and HG are going to be our parallel sides. Okay, I'm giving that to you, which means that EF is a base and HG is also a base. Okay, which means that EH and FG, if it's an isosceles trapezoid, these have to be congruent. All right, and then these two are obviously your legs. Okay, so just a quick recap of the vocab that we just talked about, okay? Okay, now let's go back up to the other example. So it says name two pairs of base angles, okay? So if you look at this picture, I'm telling you guys that AB is parallel to DC. And then I'm actually gonna highlight those because the angles that are along those bases are gonna be pairs of base angles, all right? So if you look at DC, all right, what are the two angles that are along that base? Well, it's angle D and angle C, all right, which means that angle D and angle C are a pair of base angles. So angle D and angle C are base angles, all right? Same idea with AB, it is also a base, which means that angle A and angle B are also a pair of base angles, okay? So if you look at B then though, it says if angle D is 81 degrees. All right, so angle D is 81 and angle B is 124. We need to find the other two angles, okay? So we're going to be looking at, or we're going to be using past information. So what I want you to look at is the fact that AB and DC are parallel, and we're going to have AD be the transversal. Well, what type of angles are A and D? Well, A and D are same side interior angles, and what do we know about same side interior angles? If the lines are parallel, we know that they are supplementary. So to find angle A, we're going to subtract 81, all right, from 180, which means that angle A is 99 degrees, okay? Same idea with C. If we look at angle B and angle C, all right, what type of angles are those if BCs are transversal? They're also same side interior angles, all right, and same side interior angles are supplementary, which means that if we take the 124 and we subtract that from 180, angle C is 56. Okay, and it's important that you follow along the transversal, not along the parallel sides. All right, so if you look at angle A and angle B, those are not going to be same side interior angles because AD and BC aren't parallel, right? So those don't have to add up to 180 degrees, all right, but the same side interior do. So I'm going to pause there, all right, and then from there we're going to come back and cover the next set of vocab.